Hello guys, welcome to another episode. This one we're going to be talking about tips and hints for bike riding, mostly based for UK riders, so you will need to check your local laws. Do you want to start?
Okay, well in the UK we have a standardised CBT Mod 1 and Mod 2 training. It's probably quite different if you're from the US or somewhere else.
So you would definitely need to check your rules and regulations. I know in certain countries you don't even need a licence to ride a motorbike, especially mopeds, whereas in the UK a CBT, which is compulsory basic training, is required to ride up to a maximum of 125cc. If you want to ride anything over that, you will need to take your Mod 1 and your Mod 2. Mod 1 being an off-road type of licence, and Mod 2 being your actual test on the road with an examiner. But once you've taken that, depending on your age, you will be limited to the size of bike you can ride.
I can't stress this enough. Take the extra training. Attend a police advanced riding course or something similar.
You may think, the police, the cops, the popo, the rodders, the gathers, whatever you can think of. Personally, if you encounter one, just call them officer, is a good suggestion. I don't want to do that course. They may just reprimand me for the way I ride. But it's really not like that, guys. What you're doing is worthwhile, and the police officers that run those courses are experts at rules on the road of riding fast and slow. And you'll learn a lot about becoming a better and safer rider, and they're glad to have you come on those courses because it shows that you're a thoughtful and considerate rider who takes the road and your bike seriously, and it can also be a lot of fun too.
Yeah, I've been riding since I was a teenager, so quite a long time, longer than it might look, and I'm still learning every time I take my bike out.
That's the same for me. A wise biker that I know, older gentleman, he's been riding for over 40 years, and he rides every day, and in fact he's actually a CBT and Mod 1, Mod 2 instructor, and he tells me that he's still learning. So let's get it straight, you don't know everything, and you probably never will.
On that subject of not knowing everything, there are a few truths that you need to accept when riding a motorcycle.
One, you will drop your bike. At some point, it may not be your fault, but you're going to have to pick up your bike off the ground. Ask any rider, they'll tell you it's true.
2, you will have an accident, again at some point, and probably not your own fault. You are highly likely to be involved in a road traffic accident. The last one I was in, someone reversed into me. Had no chance of seeing it.
Yeah, and as a motorcyclist, you are at a much higher risk than the car driver. What you need to remember is if you're in a car, you've got a couple of millimetres worth of metal all the way around you, airbags, you've got some nice upholstery, you've got some interior. When you're on a bike, you've only got the clothes that you're wearing and your helmet. So you will have one, and if you have one, even at a slow speed of 20 miles an hour, it's going to hurt. And I've known sad stories of people die from motorcycle accidents that are doing sort of 5 miles an hour that have a car's knocked them into the oncoming traffic. And it's, it happens, and it's not a nice thing. So what you need to do, and this leads us on to point 3, the only thing that won't hurt you on a bike is nothing.
It's true, simple. If there's nothing around you, then you're very unlikely to hurt yourself. You'll just be having a great ride. It's everyone else you need to worry about.
And that really is, the thing is, when you're riding your bike, you need to be conscious of every other nutter around you, because you need to treat it like they're out to get you, because that's what it feels like sometimes. Okay, let's move on to some tips or things that you might want to learn to make yourself a better, more confident rider. Throttle control.
Yeah, learn the correct throttle control. Smooth, fluid twist of the wrist, rather than trying to rip it off the handlebars. Not only will it give you a smooth ride up through the gears, but it will also save on petrol. So watch the motorcycle racing and see the fine, smooth adjustments that they make.
It's true. You never see them just grab hold of it and twist it round unless they're up on a start. When they're riding, it's all very subtle, gentle movements that allows you to get those smooth gear changes and those smooth pull away from corners. Grab the tank with your knees. Lock your knees into the tank and keep it that way. That way you become part of the machine. You have a more stable centre of gravity, and this allows you to have a more smooth and fluid riding. Unless you need to drop a knee for a high-speed cornering, but that's very unlikely you'll be doing that on road riding.
Accelerate when changing lanes. Nobody likes that person who changes a lane at a constant or slowing speed. It's unsafe, and you can make other drivers unsure of your intentions. As you move across a lane, after indicating and checking over your shoulder, accelerate into it.
That's very good advice. It's true. You'd be amazed how many people don't do that. Just merge across at a constant speed while there's cars tearing up behind them. You're on a bike that does 0 to 60 in 2 and a bit seconds. Use it. Don't speed, but use it to get up to that speed. Learn how to maintain your bike. This is a large one, but it's very important. Basic bike maintenance can and should be done by yourself. You'll save money, and you'll also learn far more about your individual bike than you ever will any other way. Motorcycles also require a lot more maintenance than cars. Lubrication, chain tension, brakes, alignment, fluid and filters. They're all stuff that you can do yourself. They're all fairly easy to do. There's Haynes manuals, and there's instructional books and videos on YouTube that you can do to look at it. And what we'll do is we'll do some future videos on those type of things, sort of instructions on how you can do those yourself. And you will also save yourself a lot of money.
Use the rear brake at slow speeds, called dragging the rear brake. It amazes me how many riders don't do this at slow speeds and either just coast with the clutch in or accelerate and brake constantly, putting their feet up and down.
So true.
Yeah, when riding and slow dragging the rear brake, it will stabilise the bike and allow you to ride at less than 3 miles an hour without wobbling at all.
It's so easy to do, and it's something you can do at any time when you're in traffic. You can practice it, or if you don't feel confident and you want to learn those techniques, go to a car park when it's slightly later at night. Just drag that back brake. You'd be amazed at the gyroscopic effect it has of the engine turning over and the brake pulling you along, and it'll keep you upright, and you can go at super slow speeds, slower than walking pace, without wobbling. And you'd be amazed how many people you see at traffic lights wobbling around and doing that. Practice makes perfect. Well, practice makes you better. As we said previously, you won't be perfect. You probably never will. And it's nothing to be ashamed of. Every rider out there is always learning. So ride safe
And be safe.
So as we alluded to before, what we're going to do coming up over the next weeks and months, we're going to do some videos on CBT. So we'll take you through what the basic training is, what you need to learn in order to pass that CBT. Your Module 1 and your Module 2. We'll do some in-depth videos coaching on how to pass those. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah, and we'll see you soon.